Here is where we left the model in last part 2 of this series on building the Williamsburg Knife Box. We've got half pieces of the end and side components and a face for the base or bottom. There is sufficient overlap at the corners now to accommodate the dovetail joinery later. I see extraneous edges showing here on the top edge. I'll use the eraser along with the control key to smooth out these edges. There is another issue with the bottom edges of the components. They are not at the proper angle to match up with the base or the box bottom or base. You can see this better from this angle. To reshape the bottom edge of the end, I'll move a copy over to the right on the red axis. Using the tape measure tool, double-click on the inside vertical edges of the end. Edit the component. Then use the line tool to draw a line here on the red axis intersecting with the guideline. Continue a line along the green axis to intersect with the other end's guideline. Extend a line back to the corner of the end. And now notice we have a new plane that matches to the surface of the base. Close up the wedge extension using the line tool. Then with the eraser tool, knock out the extra edges. We don't need this extra copy of the end, so I'll erase it. I'm going to place a reference line here on the bottom edge of the end. This will help me position all the components later in the process. I'll just match up a line where the edge of the base is as it fits here with the end component. So far we have only half components, so now is a good time to complete the full length of the end. Open the end for Edit and then select All. Copy the half down the green axis and then do a flip along the green axis. Zoom in close and match up the connection of the two halves. We can now delete the extra edges in the middle using the eraser tool or the delete key, and for this top line we'll use the eraser along with control key to smooth that out. Now we've got a bottom edge that is flat and matches up with the top surface of the base. The same issues now exist with the side component. We don't have a flattening down there at the bottom edge. So pull out a copy along the green axis, open it for, well, pick the tape measure and create those guidelines, then use the line tool. This time we'll bring a line out on the green axis where it connects with the guideline, then over to the other end on the red axis, and here we've got to connect back to that far end corner, and sometimes that's trying to go to the green axis. I don't want it to do that. I want it to go to the real end corner, so zoom in on that to make sure that you get a proper connection. Close up the remaining edges to finish the wedge, and then delete the extra lines. Can erase that extra piece and do the same thing here with the side to make it full length. Edit the component, select all, make a copy, move it out on the red axis, flip it along the red axis, and then zoom in close here. It's important to make sure that you get right at the very end corner, and sometimes it tries to go off, so zoom in more and make sure you get that proper connection there. Now we can delete the extra edges, smoothing this one here, erasing, and there's one on the bottom edge. The base or bottom can now be created from the rectangular face. It is currently a group. I'll change it to a component called base. Now picking the push-pull tool, create the width of the base, edit the component, pull it out, the width. Now this is where that reference line comes in real handy that we made very early in the process. So that's where the proper end point of the base fits. And we're ready to complete the box side and ends by copying the side on the green axis, flipping on the green, and the back edge of the side aligns with, flush with the edge, outer edge of the base. And copy the end component, move it down the red axis, flip along the red, and again the back edge of the end aligns with or matches up flush with the outer edge of the base. So we've got a box now, and we need to complete the corner connections using dovetail joints. I'll show that in the next session.